What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Criminal Minds Season 12, Episode 3, Taboo. As I've said in my past several reviews, sorry for coming out so late with this. Been trying to catch up, so rushing through these. But yeah, this is a fairly decent episode, I think. The case itself is nothing interesting. It's kind of a little strange. You've got a guy who gets adopted by a family. It turns out that who he thought was his adopted mother was actually his grandmother, and who he thought was his sister was actually his mother, who had some sort of thing that made her like hypersexual and made her want to sleep with a bunch of guys, and she didn't want to sleep with him because he was her son, so that put him off and made him want to kill her and then other women too. So yeah, a little bit crazy, but it wasn't anything new, it wasn't anything fresh. At the end of it, they got their guy, they saved his grandmother, so, a fairly normal episode as far as the case goes. But what I liked about this episode is that we got to see a little bit, first of all, Prentice is back. I mean, she's one of my favorite characters in the entire show, so I'm glad she's back. But we got to see a bit more from her, and we also got to see a bit more with Agent Alves. And I think, honestly, this case sort of served as a backdrop to it, because it gives us the ability to see into what he's thinking. Because honestly, he is kind of a loner. We don't really get to see much of him. And even when we do, he's not talking that much. He's generally just a part of the team. We know he doesn't want to be a part of the team. He's more of a lone wolf type player. So it's interesting to see, I guess, his interaction with Prentice. So yeah, it wasn't anything too incredible. It wasn't anything that made me go, wow, that was awesome, what a great episode. But it was enough to make me go, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that episode. I enjoyed what the team brought to it. Some of the jokes being made are fun. So I like that. I like the fact that even though the case itself wasn't necessarily anything great, even though the stuff with the team wasn't anything mind-blowing or something to really make you go, oh my gosh, it was still interesting enough, it was still funny enough that it made me want to watch again. And I think that's one of the important things about the show, because so many times in the past few seasons, it felt like it's just been case after case after case after case, not really doing much with the team. It's always been about the case. So I like the fact that we are, between last episode and this one, we're getting more involvement in the team. We're not just going, okay, here's the case, watch them solve it, that's it. And that's what I don't want to see, because we're 12 seasons in now. I want to see the team. I want to see more of the team. I want to see them interacting. I want to see new things being learned about them. I want to see them overcoming difficulties and struggles. So, overall, fairly average episode. This is a really, really short review, but honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I guess if I were to critique one thing about this episode, the side actors in this one were really, really bad. Like, the kids at the beginning were just, like, they were worse than Disney Channel kid actors now. I'm not talking about when Disney Channel was actually good. I'm talking about the kid actors now, which I've only seen a few shows, and they're awful. These kids were worse than that. And then there were a couple other ones that I just thought were not that good. I mean, the main villain was average at best, and then his grandmother was just, when they had the soft-spoken scenes where she was just talking to him, she was fine. But at the end, whenever he was drowning her in the cement, first of all, not even enough cement to drown her, but just that whole final scene was just kind of weird. Like, her reaction, she was almost laughing at one point instead of really screaming. The fact that she was allowed to scream in this neighborhood where there should be plenty of people to hear her, and like I said, by the time Rossi gets over there, the cement has already stopped pouring, and it was just barely enough to cover up her legs. So, I don't know, that whole final scene was a little bit weird, but like I said, the case itself I don't think was what needed the focus. I'm glad that the focus stayed on Alves and the return of Prentice. We got to see a bit more of them, we got to see more interaction with them. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What do you want to see next episode? All that good stuff. Let me know. We can talk about it and discuss it. Leave a like and subscribe for future Criminal Minds reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.